it appears that Channel 4 have somehow coerced, whether financially or otherwise, an actor with a posh voice, presumably a Guardian reader and Labour voter, as most actors are, to pretend to be a canvasser for reform, speak in a very working class accent, and basically say racist things whilst appearing to be doing it on behalf of the Reform Party. So can this possibly be true, Nick?
So when I first saw this in the morning, when it came out a couple of days ago, my initial thought was, well, it could be true. No political party can vet everybody in their party, especially with a snap election. You got 6 weeks, you're going to get candidates in. So my initial thought was, well, this could be true. There'll always be some idiot who sneaks through and says inappropriate things. But then the more I looked into it, the more Reform released information on it, it turned out that this person was a volunteer. So I wouldn't have been vetted, turned up in wherever they were campaigning, and volunteered his services. At the same time, Channel 4 had an undercover reporter in the area, checking out Reform and how they were campaigning. So that's what we know to be factual. Channel 4 then recorded this guy saying certain things and reported it. Reform then looked into this guy, and he is an actor. He had his own website. He's worked for Channel 4 in the past. He is a union member of whatever the union is called when you're an actor. Equity. And he specialises in what he calls rough voices. Saying rough voices for someone with
I know, I was going to say.
It's quite hard for me.
I was going to ask you to explain what you meant.
Rough voices.
That's rough voices, listeners, yeah.
Thank you.
Yes.
So that all then came out.
What are rough voices? Are they working class voices? Oh,
Yeah.
I see, right.
And when he turned up that day, he only spoke in rough voices, working class, where he's quite a posh sounding man. So the accusation is Channel 4 have set all this up. That's a bit of a jump. Could be true, but that's a bit of a jump. What is more likely, you'd be very foolish to be a top exec at Channel 4 to do this, because this is a career-ending mistake.
I never think these things happen from the very top.
Yeah.
I think they happen.
Yeah,
if
middle.
they happen,
Somewhere,
some idiot in the middle. Yeah.
So again, I can see someone setting this up, knowing, and they've already been told that Channel 4 are having an undercover investigator going anyway, and making sure this guy bumps into them. So I can see all that happening. It turns out it's a big setup. You know, it's a volunteer that no one met the day he turned up, happens to then hang around with the undercover Channel 4 investigators and record him saying several stuff.
Yeah.
And then he leaves, never been seen again since. At the same time, in Clacton, where Nigel Farage is standing, we have the Labour candidate, a black man, saying he wants to drink the tears of white men.
Oh, yes. Yeah, I heard about that.
That's racist. At the same time, we have Green candidates and Green councillors who are saying the most anti-Semitic things. We've had in the past people like Diane Abbott saying the most racist things and anti-Semitic things. And the press let most of this go by.
They say nothing about it.
Because in this country now, there's acceptable racism and unacceptable racism.
Yes.
So the acceptable racism is frowned upon a little bit, but ignored.
Yeah.
But the unacceptable racism is clamped down on extremely hardly.
In fact, when they have these things saying stop racism and stop hate, what you should say is stop what we consider unacceptable racism.
Yeah.
Stop what we consider unacceptable hate. But don't stop racism, because racism is allowed for certain people, certainly white people. So you're right, it shouldn't be stop racism, it's stop the racism that we we don't approve of.
It's all about control. It's all about control and power, and trying to emotionally charge certain things to gain votes. So if you can, and this is what the word Islamophobia has done. That's why we've got people trying to set up Islamic parties in the UK, political parties.
Yeah.
That's why we've got something called the Muslim bloc vote.
Yeah.
Because if you can radicalise them, not in a violent way, but as in they feel under pressure, under stress, that people are out to get them, they will coalesce together, because that's what we do in tribes. And if you can get the leader of the tribe to like you, you've got all those votes. And that's what's happening. And that's why racism, sexism has all been politicised. It's all about gaining votes.
And there is that awful acceptable racism. I sent you a clip, didn't I? A very short clip. I don't know if you managed to watch it. It was a black girl parodying.
I thought it was great.
Yeah, and I can't remember what she said now, but one example she said is, "Hey, why don't we have a whites only business day where people only shop at white only businesses?" And she was very cleverly transposing things that I said around promoting black situations. But when you hear them said that the other way around, they are horrendously racist. Horrendously racist. Things like, "Don't touch my hair, it's it's that's racist. Don't copy my hair, that's racist," or whatever. If a white person was saying the things that black people can say, such as that bloke saying, "I want to drink white men's if a white man said, "I want to drink black men's tears," flipping heck, it'd be the headlines on the news, wouldn't it?
Absolutely.
But that is skipped over, and there's some bloke doing a funny accent, making slightly racist comments is headline news.
All about power. It's about power, political power, and the votes. We're being manipulated. We're being used.
We are being manipulated. This is they are trying to torpedo Nigel Farage and Reform. Using any method, any opportunity they get to do that. And actually, we've seen remarkably little, considering what potentially is possible. I mean, considering how fast Farage has got to move and find good candidates, he's actually had very little.
If it had been a longer campaign, they'd have more.
Yes,
but they've all been hamstrung themselves with this snap election. Did you like that video? I think you did. Hit the bell, give it a big thumbs up, comment, and don't forget, I'm standing for election in Oldham East and Saddleworth. So please share this video, speak to your family and friends if you live in Greater Manchester, and if you live in Oldham East and Saddleworth, make sure you vote for me. Catch you soon.